Never seen this matchup before, like you were saying, so I'm really looking forward to it. I think this is a crowd favorite for sure as we get our hands back on a major final matchup that has been repeated so many times, but like you said, never for elimination in a tournament that matters as much as this one right here. It's really going to be for everything. No other matchup between these teams really matters at this point, right? It all comes down to this. It's a question of how much have you learned over the course of the year about each other, how much can you put it to use when it counts, and how many voice lines can you spam.
As you can see from the chat will line already coming out, and the little bit of all chat with these TU teams know each other very, very well. They matched in every single major finals this year, and they matched up against each other in Riyadh, though that was an upper bracket match where Team Liquid, you know, they finally managed to get one over the Gaming Gladiators team. They finally got there, but can they continue that with elimination on the line, shaking off a loss against Team Spirit especially? I mean, that had to be a bit of a rough one, because not only did Team Spirit, in some ways I think, prove that they're still the better team to Team Liquid, but they also managed to do it in like sort of comeback fashion. Liquid probably feels like they could have won that series, you know?
At the same time, Liquid looked better against them than, I mean, almost any other team has in recent history, right? I think Spirit are being humble, and they're saying they haven't only played eliminated teams, but damn, they look scary. So if you can compete with them, you're competing with the top 3 at the tournament, and that bodes well for your potential lower bracket run here, as both these teams are in the lower bracket. Still surprising me, but here we are. Upper bracket for bitches indeed, as they're going to try and prove everybody wrong and seal the deal. I like this draft. I think this draft's very interesting. I think both teams got a lot of what they wanted, as Blitz was mentioning. I think Gaming, they got their Necro counter pick, but they don't get it last year, which means Nisha has an opportunity to respond. I think they have tools to deal with the Necro with the Dispels, the Vessel from Invoker, and a lot of physical burst damage coming in later off the Bug and the Luna Aura going through in the nighttime. Got to remember that. You're contesting 6 and 8 and 10-minute power runes against Gaming. You have to bring everybody those runes. You have to be able to fight them. Luna helps you do that for that pretty damn good amount compared to almost any other carry. I expect a lot of clash around the mid lane here, and I expect that have it happen fast, quick, swift, and
here
strong.
It comes. Bounty runes out in the field. Immediately Liquid are going to try and battle Gaming Gladiators, but it's going to be Insania who's looking close to dying first. Tofu, he barely managed to live long enough. Holds on so Quinn can claim that coveted first blood. And even Boxy, who does have the Shikuchi, yes, but they have the Bloodseeker. They see him, but they can't hit him, at least not yet.
He's just going to have to suicide, though, I think. I don't know if you can play the lane with this little regen. The upside for Liquid, you give Quinn first blood here, but you did drain a lot of mana off him, and...
Okay, managed to dodge the dead shot, but again, still the vision from the Bloodseeker allows them to claim a second kill of the game. So not only did they get a 2-for-1 there, but they also managed to get the first blood, and they also walked away with even bounty runes. So big win for Gaming Gladiators right out the gate.
Nice way to start the lane, especially when you have Bloodseeker. Any of these types of trades, you set the equilibrium up in a way where people are already missing regen or they come to lane half HP. Duraccio is going to be very happy about that, and this is a lane where he can just dominate, I think. Kunkka's not going to pose too much of a threat on him. I mean, you're building up some attrition with, you know, Tidebringer going through, but Bloodseeker's just going to heal through all of it. So I kind of expect Gaming's laning phase to be incredibly strong here. And I think it's going to become a question of where can Liquid make the moves with their supports, gain some momentum back, and hopefully get Nisha activated. Because I think if this Invoker has a really good first 15 minutes, he can take a lot of this early game over. I mean, the mana burn is going to be a problem for Quinn. The Tornado is going to be a problem for the Ghost Shroud. And a fast Vessel in this game to negate a lot of the healing could just win you some of these team fights with the back of, like, good Ghost Ship, Torrent Storm in the mid game, especially with Luna Aura coming through on all of it. It's a very strong 5-man group up from Liquid if they can get it going.
Yeah, Nisha starts off really strong. Gets 4 denies already and a lot of damage onto the Necro. If he can keep that kind of pace, then he'll prevent the Necro from being able to get that regen. But it does become harder over time. They're going to jump on his eye here, hitting their level 2, while the Kunkka is still shy of that. Zai will manage to walk it off. They actually get pretty low here. Boxy's going to take advantage of this. He should easily be able to pick up at least 1 kill. Celery pops Fairy Fire. Zai's coming in as well. Can he hit the swing required? He turns back to Duraccio instead. A torrent to the side and catches him. Boxy will now be able to finish him up. Duraccio can somehow keep himself alive through getting last hits, but no. Run down by the Shikuchi. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Tofu picks up yet another kill, but Insania's already back into it, shows up with the blood grenade. They'll have their revenge perhaps, but Mickey may cost him his life because he's going to try and limp away. Ace, dive in the tower.
Oh, it's a bad dive.
Now he gets a little bit of a stun underneath the tower. Want to turn around. Liquid will manage to make up a double off of that when it looked like for sure it was going to be a trade-off 1-for-1.
These are just brawls of a lane, man. And already we're seeing this aura do work bottom. Pugna with such high move speed, such good attack animation, just kiting them around. This is the type of laning setup you want versus gaming. Do not give them a head start. Do not let them run away with it like we saw yesterday. However, Quinn pushing in mid. This is an oppressive laning hero right here, and we're showing exactly how much you could do with it. Quinn is not afraid to play this hero blind. That is a scary thought.
Yeah,
right now, I mean, this is insane pressure right here.
He has fully recovered this setup now where he was low on CS and low on regen. Managed to get a bunch of last hits all in a row, and now he is commanding this lane and will probably continue to do so.
He's gonna have to even TP back. He just got stuck. Remember, this is all thirst for Dyrachyo, which should be winning you this lane as well. So the more Quinn wins mid, the happier his carry is also gonna be. That's why that kill was pretty valuable up top. Really good for Boxy's early game here. I mean, this is an interesting Weaver setup because they didn't want to play a core into the counters the gaming had, particularly the Bloodseeker. Even the Centaur can be a little bit annoying. But you put it on support, I like the idea that you have the Luna Aura to back him up in the mid game, right? A lot of bonus damage on a hero that at some point is putting out 2-3 attacks on everybody with Shard and Sakuchi through. Sounds pretty damn good to me.
That'll help him threaten those backline supports. I assume that's what we're looking at for this support Weaver, right? Get to this Phoenix or this Huerta and just try and force them to use their ultimates to defend themselves.
Just cause chaos. If you can ever kill an egg too, yeah, be really happy about that team fight. Still gaming this lane phase. It's 3 lanes going pretty damn well for them. It's been hard to stop this tournament, and that has been one of the biggest problems a lot of teams have faced. Trying to deal with the early pressure. We'll continue to get stronger and stronger here, especially as they get the first set of items.
And I'm thinking about falls, right? That's also a very big point. We have 2 levels of the Lunar Blessing already, so you get that
strike back.
Yeah, that nighttime global.
And that's what I'm saying, these rotations. I'd like to see the Pugna and the Weaver combine a bit on the map. Get some like ganks going, especially during this nighttime. Enable some of the cores. Either Mickey or Nisha, I think, is what you're going for. I think Zai, he's going to have a, maybe slow game, but he's a cook. That doesn't really matter too much. But if you get these ganks going, you're really going to enable your supports, bring some of the CS advantage back.
Yeah. And Zai was well known for tanking a lot of terrible laning phases back when he was on Secret, right? Like a lot of times they would just leave him out in some pretty rough ones. A lot of times he was playing like Dragonite, Kunkka here, very similar type of hero.
I mean, yeah, it's a Yapzor effect.
And with that mobility, I mean, I love the fact that Weaver kind of operates like a Monkey King when it comes to the mobility aspect of getting through those portals. So maybe he can link up with Insania like you were talking about.
I mean, that's one of the strengths of support Weaver, is the rotation capability. Like every one of his points just at level 1 is powerful in a go-on situation. And the question is, I mean, if you can pressure Dyrachyo, you'd be happy to take that. But love when you kill this guy and take him off the lane. I just don't know if he's going to get chipped hard enough, and it's going to be Celery making the first move to bottom. This is not what I expected out of Liquid. I expect Boxy to want to respond to this, or at least create pressure on Dyrachyo, try and bring him back. That's what they're doing. They're going for the kill on the Bloodseeker right now.
Forced to TP away. Barely makes it. Meanwhile, here comes that rotation, but TP immediately coming out from the Weaver, so gaming Gladiators may not be able to go for this dive as much as they want. Nice hits, though. Celery landing all of the Fire Spirits on and making, and that'll finish him off. Boxy's going to try and trade out on Celery, but Ace is trying to protect his support, staying close by until the dive is ready to go. Celery gets out, so kind of a trade. Like, would you rather, in that situation, be straight up dying as the carry and then TP back to lane instantly, or do you feel like Dyrachyo is not too happy about TPing out of the lane and missing so much CS?
I mean, I think Dyrachyo is happy with that. He's not giving a lot of XP to Zai. It's the better of the outcome, especially when the Phoenix made the first move.
Nisha gonna be in some trouble. Instantly hit with the silence, and that's enough. Lock him down with the Reaper Sight underneath those ghosts. And while Zai is being run down by Dyrachyo as he made his way back to lane pretty quickly, thanks in part to those phase boots.
This mid lane, it's just been all Quinn. I'm surprised with how well he's done in this matchup. I mean, this is a matchup where Invoker generally has done okay, or at least okay enough that he can get into the point in the mid game where your spells are really good for Necro. But this is a wide lead to open up, and of course Gaming are going to take advantage of it with the quick roam, get the gank going, translate that pressure into experience for their supports. Do have that nighttime hitting full stride here, 3 points in the aura. So this is when Boxy's pretty strong on the map. even Insania getting these extra right clicks in it does hurt when you have low armor heroes.
Got him with the bugs, pulled him back in, but missed the torrent timing there from Zai. So once again, Dyrachyo takes some damage, but he will be able to heal up a decent amount with CS directly under the tower.
You're going to rotate your supports off the safe lane. Again, it's like you rotate 3 to kill Dyrachyo, and if you're not, you got to create the pressure somewhere else. Seems like you're giving Celery a lot of room on the map right now as he's just lingering bottom. He's just waiting to see if Mickey shows here again.
Quid knows there's a ward up there, but missed it barely off that sentry placement.
Now Dyrachyo is starting to feel the pressure. So this is where the trade-off comes through, right? You're going to sit on the bottom lane with your supports. In theory, Dyrachyo is not going to get as much. How long does Mickey want to sit down here? Do you want to bait the dive with another boxy rotation? Nisha can also counter-gank these plays. It's the strength of Quas at this point in the game. Liquid should be happy to take these defensive-oriented fights.
Yeah, they are diving in so damn deep. In fact, they're still back there. Ace just feeling like, thanks to his Vanguard and 17 Magic Wand charges he's built up.
He's just chilling. Smart not to force it there. Liquid were pretty damn ready. You do not want to give Nisha some big turnaround kill in this game, right? Because that's going to give him the earn charges. Then suddenly he can go into the Midas or the Vessel, whichever one he opts for. Ghost Ship used to no avail. Dyrachyo is still just walking off the pain. He's been left to the wolves. Tough trade-off. I mean, the big question here is, can you accelerate your Luna across the Bloodseeker? Yeah. If you get Ancient stacks up, that's another route you can go here. If you're Liquid, just play a defensive game, get massive stacks up, put Mickey in a position where he's the #1 leading net worth in the game. And we saw him carry some crazy games with Luna this tournament. Definitely not out of the question. It's a hero that can stand your ground with Butterfly Satanic timing, plus that shard in the late game. You could put Gaming in a position where suddenly they're the ones lacking the damage.
Here comes the smoke gank on Anisha. Ghostwalk goes out, but they do have detection already laid down from the sentry. He's going to try and duck away into the trees. Man, to dodge the dead shot, cuts down a tree to be able to cut a path away to freedom. They're going to have to pop the Stampede to make sure they do not get caught here on their way out.
Another kind of poke attempt, another attempt that Boxy instantly responds to. He's so ready to take into these fights. I think he almost wishes they would dive. Like, please give me the cleanup opportunity with how hard I'm hitting right now.
Yeah, again, because it's nighttime, right?
Yep, and this clock will hit 10. So now Gaming, they want to group up and push with a Necro and Centaur. I mean, the opportunity is going to be there. But Liquid, they're just holding the wall, holding it steady, farming it up. The question is Nisha going to go for this full Vessel? Is he just going to go for a Midas and try and scale? Like, how does he feel the pace this game is going? Zai makes his first move with a boat. Should be enough damage here.
A lot of heroes, but Ace also has a lot of HP, and Gaming Gladiators are coming in force. Beautiful torrent that hits on 2. Zai still chasing, but the rest of his team is backed away now that he's been hit with the Rupture. Caught in place, and Quid, he sees his opportunity to get at least 1 kill out of this one. Immediate Reaper Sight put onto the Kunkka to get that stack, and they'll call it there. Good enough for them. 1 kill for no trade-off.
Okay, I thought they had way more damage, but there's no like early swarm hit on the Centaur, and he just walks it off. 1600 HP in the early game, way too much without the extra spell damage from Invoker willing to make that rotation. I mean, you're not going to bring 5 to kill Ace, right? It's way too hard. Upside is, for Liquid, you did get this tier 1 top during all this mess that was happening bottom. So even if these towers go out, you're trading the map. It will open up some space for Mickey later off, you know, triangle rotation into that top lane. They have some room to play with here as game continues to get slowed down, which if you're Liquid, you're probably happy with. You know, if Gaming don't beat you in 20 minutes, then all of a sudden, will they beat you if the game goes to 50, 60? It's not been their wheelhouse at this event. That's where they've struggled.
Considering the pace they took yesterday, when you're talking about the Spirit Vessel versus Hand Midas, I immediately was like, please go Spirit Vessel. Don't go Hand Midas, because we saw the way that got punished with Nouns.
Right. It's just about how you feel this game's gonna go. It's an instinct. Pure instinct read. Quinn will go for the bots first on the Necro. So we've seen him do this, I want to say almost every game here. I think it's just a map mobility thing. Keep the farm up, be able to join these plays, continue to get the Reaper stacks. It just feels natural. It does make him a bit susceptible.
Burns out Celery, but Phoenix operates without mana.
And the siege will begin. The Pugna siege.
Yeah, they already got that top tower earlier. We didn't really mention it, but now that bottom tower is going to die for Gaming Gladiators. They're evening things out. But mid tower is under assault a bit from the Pugna.
It cost him some time on Dyrachyo, who he suffered in that no, of course, because he got kicked off that top lane. You went for the trade, and this is where Mickey is going to start to pull ahead of him. So How aggressive do Gaming want to get to try and disrupt the farming pattern here? That's a big question.
What is your timing that is it like Blink Dagger on the Centaur? Ace is pretty close to it.
Yeah, it just has to be, right? But the thing about the Centaur Blink this game is what's your damage fall going to look like? Are you bringing both supports in that smoke? It's probably going to be a bit obvious. It's hard to bring the Necro in there. And the thing is, the Necro also wants damage to come out first. So if you get some early sustain or healing on Liquid, they have the Pugna for that reason. I can see the burst not necessarily being that easy in this type of environment.
Sure. Especially given the mobility of some of the Liquid heroes. They just like stomp and then straight up egg, then you might be able to just run away from all that. Reset.
That's why the calling is going to be a very vital spell for all these gangs.
Rupture and Reaper's Scythe is a deadly combo for anybody caught out like Zai is. He's going to use the boat almost immediately. See if he can get enough heals. There is going to be that boat buff to be able to help him out. They're going to pop the Supernova. They go for the Reaper's Scythe kill onto the Pugna instead and leave Zai for last. And they're going to have to dive him underneath the tower. Jirachu's pretty sped up here. Mickey's trying to help him out, but the Stampede is going to run over Zai, and they finish him off and run through all of this. Deadshot going to miss from Tofu, and now Nisha starts putting some damage back onto Gaming Gladiators. With Boxy coming in from behind, there's potential here, but if they're fighting into the Necrophos, it's going to be pretty tough with all that sustain. So they opt not to try and break Gaming Gladiators there. Losing 2 heroes.
Caught a little too deep, but there's just no damage turnaround at this point in the game, right? You're still missing the Vessel. You don't even have the charges. And Mickey, he's gone for the farming Luna build here, which you can't blame him for. I mean, this is standard, but no Eclipse that's coming out in some crazy turnaround. So right now, it's Gaming's opportunity to make.
I love this for Gaming Gladiators.
Yeah.
Keep the pace up.
Straight
you
back.
Caught him out with 2 heroes dead. They probably TP'd out the lane, and Nisha is going to be caught alone with no response, and they will quickly take that tower as a result of that pickoff.
Ace dictating the pace of this game right now. He had a free lane, a free tower, and he has a very fast Blink Vanguard that instantly went to work. We'll take another tier 1 off the map with the group up. That's that Necrophos Centaur combining. It's going to be a problem to deal with at this point in the game. It's just way too tanky, especially with Sunray behind him. You have to fight into Muerta spells, which have been problematic for a lot of teams until you get, debuff immunity and BKBs or something. That's a far way down the road. Yeah, lane mail for Zai is going to be nice in terms of running in and tanking. It's also going to be pretty good versus the Rupture that has been going on him for most of this early game. It's a damn good blade mail game. That'll give you some fighting power. And
definitely will, but
Nikkei takes pole position here.
Yeah, he does. Barely over the Centaur. Ace, once again, he's getting so much farm out of every single one of his laning phases. It is doing so much for Gaming Gladiators. I feel like it's the biggest reason why they're able to take the pace, the super fast pace that they beat out everybody else at this tournament with.
They want to go on him. This is the tankiest hero on the map. They finally have the Vessel. Just what's prompting this, and yeah, there's the damage, right? This helps by a huge amount. Suddenly you're back on the board. You can open up some space. More charges for Nisha. It's going to propel him into the Midas. It's time for Nisha to strike back here. He's had a very slow early game, but it doesn't really matter on this hero if you can get some big core.
Get a lot of vision. Boxy. Swarm on 2. They have some magic damage throw around. Tofu's going to have some problems with that.
Yeah, he's gone. A couple Gemini will clean him up. Early medallion for Boxy, giving you some extra minus armor.
And as you get those kills, that'll turn into a Solar Crest. So the minus armor is really ramping up with this Luna damage. This 15 to 20 minute window is pretty dangerous for Gaming Gladiators.
I mean, that's the big question. Is Liquid happy just going ultra late with this Luna with all the buffs they have behind him? Remember, this is going to be a Luna with a Pugna behind him, a Boat Rum, Torrent Storm around him, and potentially Alacrity to throw on. This is one of the best Alacrity heroes in Dota because it is a ranged cleaver. It's pretty much only the Luna, the Gyro, and the Medusa, and 2 of those are not in the meta, so you'll take the 3rd. But damn, does it start to hurt when those glaives start bouncing around with the extra attack speed and damage here. It's a great combination to go late game with, especially with the buildup you go for now with the Shard, the Satanic, the Butterfly. You just become insanely tanky if you can't get the initial burst damage out.
At the same time, I feel like it is kind of a single core lineup where they've got 2 big percentage-based damage dealers on Gaming Gladiators. Tofu, he'll deal with that ward. Tornado is going to catch a mid-stampede. A bit unfortunate there, but it looks like they're going to try and catch the Invoker.
Better stop.
They got him from behind. Ace shows up, and Insania, there's no way he could do enough heals to outdo that damage from Gaming Gladiators. They will both die.
Every time Liquid starts to push back, it's Ace coming in, shutting them down with another 2-man stomp, setting up another Reaper stack for Quinn as well. He's already up to 4. You cannot let Necro get to that like 10 territory, right? The hero just becomes an abomination of Dota with Ag's Heart plus extra regen stacks.
Yeah, you may have Spirit Vessel, but you don't have that much anti-heal.
now Dyrachyo starting to pick up the aggression as we expect from him. Just getting on the Liquid side of the map. Not really afraid of the jump here because what is the jump? I mean, it's going to be X. That's it.
Yeah. It's definitely more of a counter punch lineup, right? And I think that's mostly off the Invoker.
It is.
They try and jump somebody, then you get a tornado. It's a great way to be able to respond to that. Easy jump there. Rupture plus Deadshot is a nice combination.
That's the thing. It's mainly just been Misha running around in Ghost form trying to make something happen. But the downside with Quasflex Invoker when you're the initiator like this is you just fall behind in farm.
Yeah.
And his net worth is plummeting down the chart here as all the gaming cores are picking up the pace. So you got to go back to this Midas because it's the only thing that keeps you up there. But all the time you're looking for these ganks, it does delay it even more. And now it is gaming taking the smoke to you as they want to get Quinn involved yet again with this Necro. Doesn't even have the Reaper up. Just wants to abuse the shard while Dyrachyo's cleaning up some Ancients.
Feels like Gaming Gladiators rarely miss on their smokes, at least when it comes to these lower bracket games. They've had a clean run. 6 games in a row they've won. But this one will miss as Liquid do manage to get through the portal in time.
Well, Liquid did leave their ops up there. So they have pretty good wards to smoke back to in the top lane. They can switch the map up again.
Dude, they are just targeting Nisha so hard. He shows up again. Insania's behind him with the heals, but it's just not enough, man. Way too much damage. And again, it means Insania because he couldn't heal up his core enough. His core dies, and so will he.
And this was Liquid responding. They brought Mickey, they brought Zai, they brought Boxy to this bottom lane to try and turn this. You talked about their lineup being a great defensive turnaround lineup. I mean, if you're not there, then you're just wasting even more time. As once more Ace finds the opening, they clean it up with a Reaper kill, stack number 5, and that heart is almost completed here for Quinn. He is keeping pace with a Max or a Glaive Luna, who's had some Ancients.
You've got some serious damage problems now that that pipe is introduced. With a heart completed on Quinn as well, I think your mid-game damage is just out. You have to wait till the Luna really comes online.
And this is what gaming have done to a lot of teams this tournament right now. Create a situation where your EHP just outpaces enemy damage and you drive it down a lane. And if you don't have outspam, if you don't have capability to take the fight, you run into
get that heart recipe.
That's a big one. I mean, you gotta go.
Feels so
for
good.
it, right?
Do you see it? Does he see it?
Oh,
he sees it. He's gonna go for it. Does manage to get it. So, no heart just yet for Quinn. That will buy. I'm not even sure if it buys him any time because I feel like Gaming Gladiators can still do whatever they want.
I mean, it's a lot of effective net worth off the map, right?
Sure.
It's a big courier kill. You're buying time when this ball was starting to creep up for gaming, and hey, I mean, that's probably the happiest Liquid fans have been in this audience for a while.
That is
you
true.
get the morale back on your side. Every little bit counts.
Having a lot more fun in the road to TI than TI itself so far. Liquid, maybe they could change that narrative though. 2,000 net worth lead for Gaming Gladiators, so it's not like they're falling that far behind. It's just the fact that all 3 cores on Gaming Gladiators are looking strong.
And of course, a single fight can just open up this game for Liquid, right? If they get a good team fight where Mika gets to stand his ground with everybody behind him in the formation they want, or gaming jump him and he survives, you turn around with level 2 Eclipse, which is now up, and you translate that into a Roshan, all of a sudden this game looks completely different. That is always in the cards if you take a bad fight, especially with Ags on Zai. It's a pretty fast Torrent Storm for an offlane Kunkka.
Spotted Boxy. Love the fact he's carrying his own dust. Yeah. Time lapse straight back into the silence of the Blood Rites.
Nowhere to run in this matchup. Absolute death sentence.
Look at all this deep vision that Gaming Gladiators has up to.
Yeah, they even have the cheeky tier 2 ward bottom, which, you know, I'm still debating whether this ward is actually supposed to do this, but hey, it's in the game, why not use it?
Definitely one of the most value wards out there.
Absolutely. Open up this tier 2, almost no defense when you have this option, you just see everything.
Yeah, you get some sort of vision, some sort of support or something sitting in the bottom part of the tower. You have that ward up on the top part, you see everybody that could TP in.
It's going to be Tormentor for Liquid, it's going to try and push Mickey towards his BKB. That's going to be the big go time for Liquid. You have BKB on Mickey plus this Torrent Storm, that's your team fight. It's all coming together. You can fight behind the Luna with the debuff immunity. You're going to be really happy in that situation because it is a lot of magical bursts coming out on gaming.
Yeah.
You just got to pray you can hold your ground. BKB force from Dyrachyo.
That is definitely a small win here. Even better if they can get the egg in time, and it looks like they've got it no problem. Oh, Ace! It was a good attempt. If he hit Zai 2, there was a chance for the Phoenix to survive.
Another X
now.
Yeah, he got him.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get him off the vision from the Sunstrike. He gets him off the X, pull him back in.
Oh, nice.
He's going to land. Mickey pushed back by the dead shot. But Ace, he's going to be left alone. Gaming Gladiators cutting their losses, and I think it's a smart play. Liquid did catch them out there, and they accept that.
That was a nice attempt at the stop. If that hits Zai, you maybe get something out of that engagement, but it's very deep, especially when Dyrachyo had a TP out of the top off the BKB, so you know the Bloodseeker's not connecting to that fight. Yeah. That's just a green light for Mickey to join it. Gets the cleanup. This will push him towards that BKB, flying out right now.
Yeah, he doesn't have it, though.
Yeah, where is it?
He has pushed that tower without actually having that one. He's going to be in some serious trouble unless this Torrent can stop the Reaper's side, but Quinn is way too tanky. He's not dying to this, and he does bring down Mickey. The BKB only works if you get it out of your stash and into your inventory.
That is a big timing to give up right there. And another big Reaper kill to give away. Quinn's regen just starting to get out of control. When he's under that Sunray with Heart plus all the stacks, it's like plus 140. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't see you ever bringing this Necro down unless you get him in an isolated situation with the Vessel on top of everything else. That means the front line's going to be very strong here. Zai's going to take a poke at it. Oh, he's thinking about it.
Once again, trying to pull heroes out of position. Gaming Gladiators are not afraid of fighting under this. They have a high ground ward.
Yeah, he does. He wants anybody but Quinn right here.
Eul Scepter to hold Zai in place. Quinn, Spirit Vessel put onto him. They have the Torrent Storm, but he gets away thanks to the shard. But they do manage to pick off that support. Tofu goes down, and they back away. They check for high ground vision. It's not there. Dyrachyo, he's actually cut in from behind. Zai's already so low. The boat's coming in trying to help him out, but I don't think Liquid can really fight this anymore. Too many heroes from Gaming Gladiators, and yeah, they're going to be losing 2 off this one. Godlike spree for Quinn. The man is just absolutely untouchable, and Dyrachyo, his aggression is very off potentially here as he's going in so deep. Oh no, that's too much, Dyrachyo. They will maybe still catch Nisha's. Yes, the Rupture holds him in place. Maybe he feels that's worth it. Maybe he's not the real carry. After all, Quinn is the one dictating the strength of Gaming Gladiator in these fights.
A little bit of a Dyrachyo throw. I mean, you gotta have a little bit every game, right? Just too far with the BKB down, not respecting the Luna buyback, not reading the timer there. Mickey just gets a free cleanup.
Also not respecting the shard pickup of the Luna. That does add some extra damage when you are in melee range of that Luna. It's dangerous.
That type of fight overextension is probably what Liquid are looking for in general, right? Because their run-up burst is not great into the Sunray, into Necro heal. You're going to be fighting into a calling. But if you can bait gaming into an extended fight like that afterwards, suddenly that turnaround can be very swift, very painful, especially once the BKBs are down. So that's like gaming have to think about how far do you chase in these scenarios? Do you clump up and give Mickey a really good fight? Because it really is all coming down to this Luna, right? Yeah. And he stand his ground, output the damage, get good eclipses off. Just do everything.
Sometimes these team fights can be a mess, and it's hard to decipher what exactly is going on. I think it's clear what Gaming Gladiators want out of their team fight, right? Jump in on somebody, burst them down. What does an ideal team fight look for Liquid, though?
You somehow save that or like get BKBs off and get the supports, right? You take the Mort out, you take the Phoenix out, or force an early egg and kite it. That's the situation where you can draw gaming out in a long extended fight because the supports are dead. Suddenly the Necro's not as tanky. Suddenly your go attempt with Mickey manning up isn't necessarily putting him in a position where he's stuck in the calling after his BKB goes down. It's about kiting it, right? Find the supports, kite the fight out, extend it as long as you can, and then you're in a pretty okay situation. That's why gaming wants the burst here. They want to jump with Ace, get a Reaper kill on a big core, and set the fight up for Dyrachyo. Even if that hero does not die initially to Reaper, you're going to put the Bloodseeker in a position where he's thirsted so far up, he might just clean the fight up anyway.
From my point of view, I feel like Tornado is like the biggest spell for Team Liquid, right? I think it's the only spell that really allows them to be able to reset off of the initiation from Gaming Gladiators.
Tornado, EMP, the Ice Wall, all these control spells from Nisha are going to be huge. You just got to recreate that gap. Yeah, we saw that Ags on the Necrophos completed. Man, he is far in this game.
Yeah, you can't kill him, and now he's outputting crazy damage with that Aghanim Scepter over time.
I mean, Quinn he's shown he's willing to play this hero in basically any game versus any matchup. There's a reason why. It's looked pretty damn good. 9-0. a big streak if Liquid can collect it as well.
And I think Liquid are recognizing the fact that a tough fight is coming their way. They're trying to cut creep waves. You can see Boxy's playing in deep while Zai's using some X marks the spot shenanigans.
They don't want to give up this Roshan. That's the problem, right? Like, this is a great Roshan for Liquid with Solar Crest Swarm if you can get in there. You're giving up position on it. It's going to be an egg Roshan contest now. This is pretty damn difficult because your opportunity to find supports on the backline and start on them is very limited around this pit.
Celery deep in the corner. How do you get this guy out of here?
What a torn,
though. All three, that's beautiful, but immediately the BKB going up. They are doing a lot of damage. The Necrophos is getting low. Can they finish?
Oh, side.
Low, and it's just cleaning up with the Glades. And Celery dove on through the pit, but he missed the Aegis. He was barely outside of that range. Gaming Gladiators, they thought we are too strong to be beat right now, but that hubris cost them a massive fight.
Never clump blind in the Roshan pit. If you don't expect it, you should have, because Zai just gets a three-man Torrent into the boat and cleans them all up here with a Torrent Storm. What a read, what a move from Liquid. That is not an easy Roche contest. They just believed they had it, and hey, they did. Even gobbled an Aegis at the end on Mickey. You can't ask for anything better here, honestly. Everything lines up. You even got like everybody stuck in this meteor trying to run out of the pit in the direction on top of an ice wall. Nisha just cleans house.
I think the funny part is that Quinn pops the Ghost Shroud, but then that just leaves Duraccio and Ace getting shredded by Glaives. It just bounces between the two of them.
There was no getting out of that the second that Torrent hits.
Great timing for the Butterfly. Part of that, they'll heal up Mickey. So now we've got a little bit of sustain options here as well, but the Necrophos isn't here quite yet. Gaming Gladiators may have jumped the gun, but they do have the Supernova well positioned. Liquid have to retreat, but the Rupture is preventing Mickey from doing so, and the Necrophos is coming soon. Quinn's gonna be here. They've got to start retreating a bit.
You have a second life on Mickey, but that's it. Butterfly did get delivered though. He's damn strong right now. Level 20 talent as well.
He's going to take down to pretty much nothing as the Coco Rum wears off, and they have the vision of this too. They got him outside of that Thirst vision, but Gaming Gladiators have enough of a read to know where they're generally at. Boxy's going to try and run interference while Mickey goes for the escape, and they get out. They had vision on that high ground. Quinn was so close to being able to get that Reaper-sized stun in.
He didn't Death Seeker it.
Oh,
maybe they couldn't get the gap closed properly, you know, with Stampede and everything, but that was very close to Mickey getting caught. They're lucky to get out of there. Gotta respect this Thirst and how low you get, right? That type of fight, it goes good for Liquid because they get everybody in there during the duration of the bow, Torrent Storm, and the BKB for Mickey, and they just line it all up. Nisha also just got to sit there in his BKB and right-click everybody. You get in these chase situations where you're low HP. That's a very different story. Formation means a lot for Liquid right now. With an Aegis, they perhaps did not expect to have at this point in the game.
Oh, this is interesting. Boxy, they gave him all the farm that's coming in bottom lane. He's building a Linken's. So they're going to try and protect their Luna, even more buff ups. You say, you know, you've got so much to put on this Luna. You start putting some item upgrades in there like Linken's. That would help do a lot to protect against Quinn. He just jumps in so deep there. The Eclipse is going to be doing a lot of damage to Meteor on top of that one. A quick full heal. Mickey aiming to finish off that tower. The Reaper sight's going to go off, but Mickey on his BKB, and Quinn is getting burned out here. They couldn't even get through the Aegis. And over 7 now, Duraccio thinks they're just diving after Mickey, but again, he has the extra life. Even if they succeeded in that, it was still a failed plan for Gaming Gladiators right outside of their own base.
And Ace left wondering, guys, on the initiation, what the hell are we doing here? It's just too much hubris, right? You think you're too tanky, you think you have too much regen, but the BKB timings and the Vessel's doing work here, and now they're gonna drag you back in. Gaming.
Full Celery out of position.
Game is crumbling for them very fast. He comes back
down with the Tornado into the Sunstrike, pops before he can use the Supernova.
All it takes is one bad Torrent to ruin your day here. As Zai has just turned this game around, and now all of a sudden you're facing down the barrel of a Luna with Aegis, Butterfly, Grovo looking for that Satanic and taking your racks. And this is where that Alacrity starts to go to work. All of a sudden, Nisha, he's a second damage source. He can make Mickey even more powerful. You have to think about the Glimmer on the Reaper. You have to think about the BKB on the Reaper. It's not so straightforward anymore. This is where this ball lineup strikes really hard.
And the problem's going to be is Aegis expires in a minute. Liquid can get a lot in that minute of time, but then as the Aegis expires, he picks up a Satanic. So even if that second life is gone in 50 seconds, he will have additionally a second life thanks to Satanic.
You got to wear through this. You're looking down a second lane potentially. I mean, Mickey is just taking names right here, plus Sunstrikes.
Oh, and a man dodge stops Ace entirely from getting that initiation. They're going to keep the pressure up with the barracks being revealed. They're going to try and burn out Mickey from a distance, but Insania can keep him healed up, even if there were no heroes to lifesteal off of. And they're actually just going to be able to walk away. There is a period of time here. The Aegis expires, but Gaming Gladiators don't have their full squad.
Don't have any smokes either.
Yeah.
No punish available here for Gaming. That'll be 2 sets to Liquid. They just walk it off. Mickey, his item timing's got so damn accelerated off these last few fights. He is in prime position now. And I mean, this just felt very casual, right? You can see the bait here. I mean, Quinn is incredibly tanky with Ghost Shroud Sunray coming through. Ace is here, but you're just in an awkward position because it didn't start with you going on a court and bursting them. And you had Aegis the whole time, so even if that happens, you're going to get stuck in an awkward engagement. And at this point, I mean, Dyrachio's trying to clean up something that there's nothing to clean up there. And yeah, what the hell are we doing, guys?
Hey, we've all been there in that moment. I think everybody in this stadium recognizes those emotions. Just a bad plan for Gaming Gladiators, which is surprising to me because I would have thought Liquid getting knocked down recently to the lower bracket, I thought they would be the ones, perhaps with a little bit of main stage jitters with elimination on the line and such. Gaming Gladiators been playing clean through this lower bracket, but that was very uncharacteristic slip up from them.
Game has definitely fallen out of their control. Liquid, they did an immaculate job of bringing it back. They took the right fights, they took them in the right way. That's what counts on the TI main stage. Nothing else really matters if you can't clinch those big engagements when they happen. Right now, this ball lineup is clicking on all cylinders. Just a question of how much more you can get, right? Because now if you get this next Roshan and you're able to push that last lane, you might just close this game out before it gets into any type of ultra late game situation.
Liquid to turn this game around. Let's take a listen to what their comms are like.
I'm running a dangerous way, but fuck it.
But fuck it.
The boss of this game.
You are the boss of this gym.
Go, go.
Wise words from a team, but fuck it. Yeah, that's an attitude to be able to take for this game because Liquid are in full control of this. I don't think Gaming Gladiators can really take a straight up fight against them anymore. But we'll see whether or not that actually comes to fruition here. Nisha, he's trying to find a pickoff to make things a whole lot easier for them in the high ground push. Even forcing out Dyrachio's BKB would be a big win. Dyrachio holds it for now. He actually is running back into them. He wants to be able to play around this high ground area.
And it'll be a smoke from Gaming. So they're going to take this fight. What they're looking for is a big core kill. Burst it on the jump from Ace into the Reaper. Even through the saves, you got to remember there's a full Linken's on Boxy. He can throw this out to block a Reaper or Rupture. There's not much else to pop it here. And it might be something Gaming are not ready for. If you don't find this Weaver, he's going to protect the core on the front line, especially with Glimmer and the suck coming out from Insania on the back.
Big wraparound, but Boxy, he ruins it. Shikuchi straight into them, breaks the smoke, and gets out. Gaming Gladiators, they knew they had to get something over Liquid, and it was going to be an initiation on the back line, but ruined.
All TPing out. They're going to get caught.
Close call, but everybody does get away safely.
That was not a high ground you're willing to go up if you're Gaming here, especially with 2 other lanes pushing into your base. Somebody has to go back at some point. You relinquish all this map control, however. Looking at a Wisdom Rune. I mean, Tofu wants it, but
no way you're getting. Oh, really? They're gonna try for it. Celery is like, oh, sorry, Brent, it's not there anymore. Dead shot to try and cover his retreat, but Ty has the vision thanks to the swarm. He's gonna be able to catch him on the side here, the opposite side of the barrier, but maybe with some of the range damage, Sunstrike coming in, he knows he has to use the Supernova, and Liquid is more than happy with that.
Really good bait by side, baiting out the Yules, gets the Torrent after. That'll force an egg off some really small plays from Liquid, gives them another little advantage here. Again, this is all setting up for next Roshan. There's no way you're pushing high ground without an Aegis on the Luna versus a burst-oriented lineup. And yeah, Boxy gets to Ags, changes a lot as well. Now you have the Linken save plus an Ag save to deal with Rupture damage, to deal with Reaper Sight damage. How much can Ace do, right? He's on a hero that, it's not like those Tidehunter games where he can just blow the fight wide open. You get one jump, you're a pipe, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Nisha eyeing him up.
Spotted here. This is what this Invoker, I feel like, has been so good at throughout the tournament, is being invis, running around the map, and finding these heroes who are trying to find some...
Dyrachyo!
Oh, Dyrachyo, what happened? Gone in an instant, trying to help out Ace, and it looks like somebody must have... Oh, screen bug. Well, at least it wasn't Dyrachyo.
Yeah.
No excuses there.
Pause and look for him, but he ain't there. And that was very fast. He is instantly gone. I feel like Dyrachyo's read of where the Liquid heroes are in these fights has just been a little off, right? He's just been getting in very deep into these melee range, especially versus Mickey, and maybe not respecting that new Luna shard that makes these man fights a different beast.
And the Liquid fans will fill out the pause with the chant as they can sense the end is nigh for this game one. Liquid in a great position. Whether this pickoff of the Bloodseeker does it for them and they straight up go for the high ground from here, they're likely to still catch Ace as they've got him dead to rights in so many different ways. The X marks the spot, the Torrent to pull him back in. Yeah.
By the way, that was double damage on Mickey, so that's another reason that Dyrachyo just got shredded there.
So
the upside is this was on top lane and not bottom. Otherwise, I think Irax is gone. The Liquid, that'll secure Roche for them. That was your Roche fight, right? Just gone in the blink of an eye here.
They're respecting the fact that Gaming Gladiators could have buyback. Better to just play for Roshan. Of course, we know they actually don't. So Liquid could have ended the game right there, at least gotten Megas. But they're going to play it very disciplined. Get the Aegis and cheese.
Assume there's buybacks here.
Yeah.
Don't know where the gold is. And this Roche is just absolutely free. Mickey full slotted pretty much. Give him an Aegis, let him go high ground, and throw every buff you have on him. It's not a bad strat here at TI. Even level 20 for Zai, just gonna amp up this Torrent Storm and the chaos in the fight. We're talking about the control that Liquid has when it's on a straight 5-on-5 when the BKBs go down. If you don't get that burst and shorten the extension of that fight, Zai's gonna take it over.
Quinn.
The problem with Kunkka.
He was trying to cut waves because he knows the final push is coming in, so he's hoping to be able to buy a few more seconds, but he's gonna get caught out here. He is 100% dead, but he does have buyback. So he's gonna have to use this for some desperate final hold from Gaming Gladiators. They can't afford any pickoffs, but if they could get a pickoff on Boxy, that would help delay things a little bit. The Lincolns, though, is gonna prevent the Rupture, and he's out.
Not today.
Now that means Rupture is on cooldown when this push comes in, and Mickey is approaching
55 seconds.
He is fully slotted out here.
I mean, you're talking about this Necros buy. Quinn has 5,300 gold. He is buying another item. He just doesn't know what the hell he wants in this game. I mean, it's got to be BKB. He's trying to get close on both. He could sell and get it here.
They're going to wait for the initiation, the attempted jump from Ace. Once again, a Manta Dodge is able to get away from that hoof stomp, and they really cannot seem to
Quinn
do
got dragged.
And he got pulled out from the tidal wave. Quinn's in trouble, but he does manage to use his shard to get out from the side. Still, though, buildings are exposed. You can reset all you want. Your buildings are still going to be in some trouble here, down to half health. But again, he has that Aegis, he has the Lincolns, he has Satanic to full heal him. Nothing is going to stop Mickey from claiming the Megas.
Can keep going here if you're Liquid. Can reset, gain some resources as well. You have a lot of time. That'll be the BKB bought out from Quinn. Did not have it for that fight.
Doesn't actually save him, though, because Mickey's physical damage that he outputs is pretty intense.
And part of the problem is how do you get through the saves now? Like Boxy's itemization in this game with the Lincoln's Ags is closing in. You have the Glimmer Cape. You have another Lincoln's on Nisha as well. So this is double Lincolns that can go through against Reaper, Rupture with, like we were saying, not a lot to pop it beforehand. And these are long cast animation spells. You can honestly hit them pretty reliably if you're just looking only at that and not worrying about anything else here. Block potential is very high. Final push will come. Once more, rally around your Luna. Let him do the work. Let the Glaives do the work.
And Luna is so good at being able to siege down tier 4s with those bouncing Glaives. Getting pretty low already off that bit of burst. See if they can get him again. The Manta dodges. Mickey, he is so on point with it, but he does get burned out anyway. Second life. BKB and Cheese are going to be ready to go for this one. Immediately feared up, though. Does get off the BKB. Turns around, fights Dyrachyo. Dyrachyo has to get out of there.
That's BKB down, though. Ace, he wants to punish it. He doesn't get the stomp, though.
They need to be able to slow down Liquid, but Liquid actually going to turn underneath the Supernova, though. That one is going to be a little bit sticky, and Quinn jumps forward, takes his opportunity to the Reaper side, but no! The save comes out just in time. Back to full he goes. He gets the cheese off, and now he's ready to rumble.
Oh, what a time-lapse timing. Just when you think you're going to get a Reaper kill after all the BKBs and the Glimmers are down. No, Boxy is waiting for you.
Picks up that Aghanim Scepter just in time for
Yeah, that was literally just blown in. And they'll get another buyback out of gaming here. Ace, the next to pay the price. 2 cores on cooldown for 5 minutes here. Did take your Aegis, did take your BKB.
Final push is coming in. Let's take a quick listen in on Liquid, though.
I'm just tipping.
Be brave. Just run. I'm Giga Brave. I'm running in. Just protect me, guys. Yeah.
Mickey understands his strength. Chad just wants to run in, protect him at all costs, and that's what Liquid did there in that push.
Now he has a refresher. So this is a level 25 Luna with full 6 slots, double BKB, double Satanic, double Manta Dodge. You can get them both. I agree. Put everything on him and let him end this game right here, right now.
He's got a little bit of window where there is no Supernova, even the BKB on cooldown from Quinn. But Liquid are a bit hesitant. What are they waiting for?
Waiting for the call.
Waiting for the right opportunity to present itself, perhaps.
Waiting for another Tormentor. Why not?
Might as well take away those resources away from Gaming Gladiators. After all, they're in no position to be rushing things too much. They can take their time if they need to. Now we have the EMP pull-in, so not only are you dealing with the constant Torn Storms, the Tidal Wave pushing you back, but the EMP is also dragging you away, out of position constantly. But to see that attempt there, though, always the Death Seeker ready to go for Quinn to get out.
Just start poking him down. Create a situation where you force Ace to jump, and then Mickey's going to have a good fight.
There it is, pull him out of position, hit him with the nullifier, see if they can get that BKB out of him, but Quinn doesn't hit the button. Hold strong for now, but they are taking damage on their tier 4s. The Megas start streaming in. Nice Torrent into Cataclysm, beautiful setup, and that's going to be Ace going down with no buyback. And Mickey sees his opportunity now to be able to hit the tier 4s. The Gaming Gladiators back away, the throne is going to be exposed. Raju tries to come in, sliced and diced by the Glaives. No contest whatsoever. They can take down anybody they want on the side of Gaming Gladiators. Liquid will complete the comeback in style and take it at 43 minutes.
And for as strong as that Necropose looked for a lot of the